All right. Another week with Bleach Bangs. We have got Breaking in a Sequence. You want to introduce yourself for us real quick?
Sure. What's up, guys? It's Rich Wynn from Breaking in a Sequence, or you can just call us Bias for short.
I love it. I love it. we were checking out the other song and he's like, "So is it called Bias?" Uh yeah, I was like, Breaking in a
It's on that
Sequence.
cassette. The picture of it was on the cassette, and
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I didn't put two and two together fast enough.
Uh,
Richard,
well,
what do you do in the band?
I am the singer. I'm the
Right
lead
on.
singer. And funny story is when we first came out, we came out as Bias, right? But
Oh,
it was
cool.
during all of the election stuff, so people couldn't find us on socials and everything because everything was just eclipsed by the election.
Right.
Um, and then there was some like trademark um, issues. So instead of completely rebranding, we unacronymed it, and that's why we became Breaking in a Sequence.
Gotcha.
It'd be much
Gotcha.
easier for us to stay biased, but
Absolutely. How long you guys been doing this?
well, as of August, as of last month, it's been 4 years. I can't believe it's gone by that quickly.
Sweet.
But I mean, we lost 2 years, right?
Right,
Right.
exactly.
So, but how I came to be in the band is the guys like David, Joe, and Chris were in another project beforehand, and they did
Hmm.
a worldwide singer search, and they picked me out of all of the singers that submitted to them, and I think they got a few hundred submissions. So,
Holy shit.
so that was kind of cool.
Good job, man.
Thanks. I mean, I wasn't their first choice or their first, second, or third choice. I was like
He's
the
like, I just
last
live in the
one.
same state.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
I was the last choice, but they chose me.
That's hilarious. He just lives down the street. Come
No,
on.
I actually live 80 miles away from them. So,
Oh, nice,
um,
nice.
but they were gonna settle with someone else, and then I think Chris was like, you know what? I'm gonna send it off to this guy just to double check,
Uh-huh.
and then the rest history is history.
That's awesome. So looks like you guys you put out a EP back in 21 and you put out another EP this year. Is that the direction you're liking to go? Or are you going to do a full album at some point? Or it's just easier to digest the EPs?
You know, I am an old school guy. I would love to put out albums. I
Yeah.
would love to do that. It's just in this climate, it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, honestly, in this climate, EPs don't even make sense, right? Because
Right.
everyone's about singles, and I
Yeah.
hate that. So the the in between point between those two, album or single, is EP. So we
Yeah.
went the EP route.
I like it. I dig it. Are you guys touring on this at all, or are you doing
No,
anything locally?
no, we're not touring. And I don't know if you know or not, but David Silvera,
Mm-hmm.
he left the band back in June, right?
Oh.
And we just announced our new drummer, and our new drummer is BC Vaught, formerly of Head PE.
Oh,
So
sweet.
yeah, so we're working to ramp him up right now. And our first show, we just announced it, is November 5th in Vegas with Nonpoint.
I saw that. That's
Yeah.
going to be killer. That's going to
Yeah,
be killer.
yeah.
I mean, even if the show sucks, kind of like what we went down to go see Ozzy in Vegas. I was like, even if if something just like rains it out, you're still in fucking Vegas.
Right, right. And I mean, at this point, we're all playing because it's our passion, right? We're not playing to try to be rich and famous because those days are over, right?
Right.
So anyone who's in a band right now trying to do all that shit, that's a pipe dream. You have to do it because you love it these days. And
Yeah.
obviously we love it, and we're just going to keep going as long as we can, until it's over. I don't want to look back, when I'm old and gray and be like, man, I wish I would have played more music.
Yeah.
you can't go back and do that. You just can't. So.
That's a very good point. I mean, just like you said, the environment now, it's just it's so volatile. And you've got to have the passion, you've got to have the love. And that's what I've seen from the ones that have stuck around so long. You could tell, you could see it in their face. Even if they've been doing it for 20 years, they still fucking love it. And when they're putting on a show, it doesn't matter if there's 14 people in front of them or 14,000 people in front of them, they're having a good fucking time. And
Yeah.
those are the ones that are still here. And that's what I've noticed. It's just Papa Roach came to my mind. Every time I see Papa Roach, he's having such a good freaking time up there. You know, he's loving what he's doing, and he would be doing it whether he got the damn paycheck or not. He just likes to play the music. So
and their new record's great. I love their new record.
Yeah. Love me some P Roach.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So I don't know what my favorite song is, but I really think Pity is my favorite song right now. I mean, it just plays in my, I woke up this morning with it in my head. I'm like, what is so freaking catchy about that song? What elements do you believe makes a good song?
Well, for my personal taste, I like it when a song has like melody and groove. You know, if you listen to our music, it's not perfect in any means, right? And I think a lot of music these days is perfect, right?
Yeah.
When it's recorded. Okay.
Right.
So there are little nuances that we purposely didn't perfect, right? And I think that shows through. I think that bleeds through. And a lot of metal bands these days want to go as, complex as possible, like play over every single subdivision that you can and everything and fill every ounce of space. And I think if you listen to us, there's a lot of breathing room in the music. Everything. There's air there. So I mean, in the climate of, like, let's say 20 years ago, music, we'd just be whatever, right? But because everything's so perfected these days and every ounce of air is filled up in a song recorded wise, we're kind of like a breath of fresh air, I feel. I mean,
I totally agree. I like things a little bit ugly. I mean, it's like human. A live performance. Yeah, it's like a live performance. That's what I love, is knowing that it's not backing tracks. Right. This is them. Right. And there's just such a good element to that, and it just feels good. If it was exactly like the album, I wouldn't really care for it. But just like you said, just having its own personality, that's what does it. I totally
that's
agree.
Lost today, honestly. A lot of bands these days are playing with a click track in their ear, so everything's perfected, and they're playing with that click track so they can have the backing tracks and everything, and the live auto tune, all that. I won't get into any of that.
No, I'm sure we're both on the same page.
Yeah, that's the shit that pisses me off. Like, we're out there doing it real, and a lot of bands aren't. They're not.
No, I totally agree. I mean, and that's what it has made real good musicians not stand out anymore, because everybody's out there freaking doing this because they can digitally do anything they want. They can't pull it off live.
Well, there's a lot of musicians these days that can pull it off live, and I'll give them props, because that's really hard to be able to pull it off live. However, playing perfected to a click and all that, losing all the sway and everything, you lose the human elements and you lose the stylistic attributes of playing when you do that, right? So you're not going to see another Slash come out. You're not going to see another Lane Stanley. You're not going to see another Scott Weiland, because everything's perfected and gridded to the nines.
Yeah.
And that's just my thought on it. But that's the type of shit that I will get drunk and I'll just talk about all the time. Everyone's so tired of hearing about that shit from me.
Like perfection in music is kind of unbelievable. Like it's you can't believe the fact that it's so perfect in every way because of human error in the overall aspect of it, you know?
Well, that's what happened when, and it's pop production, right? That's what took over metal.
Yeah.
Metal took that perfect pop production, and somewhere along the way, they ran with it, right? And it's easier to produce that way because you don't have to go in the studio and get drum tones and all that other shit
Hmm.
because you're just going to program all the drums,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to get a very important piece out to our viewers. If somebody's looking for you guys, where's the best place for them to go find anything breaking in a sequence or bias?
Um, you can go on IG or Facebook or biasofficial.com. Will take you there, YouTube, all that stuff. Um,
And your website has links to like Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, I believe.
it should, but I haven't been there in a while.
It
So
does.
Like I was messing around on there earlier, and I was trying to check what all was on there to make sure I said the right things for you.
yeah, I mean, who goes to an actual official website anymore? Really, people just use their socials, right? I mean, people,
Right. Yeah.
we're the old school guys, right? But like,
I will say, assuming that it's all still up to date, there is quite a bit of merch out there of your guys' stuff. There's a couple different hoodie designs, three or four t-shirts. I want to say there's one like just pullover sweatshirt out there as well. Um, so if you guys are looking for these guys when we get done, you can go straight to their website or hit them up on Facebook or Instagram.
I gotta go order one myself. I want one of those hoodies.
I think you did have two different hoodies on there too.
Oh
I
man, I
assumed one
gotta,
of them for sure was like an album cover, but I hadn't seen the covers or the EP covers.
okay.
But one of them I'm guessing was a cover from it, but I won't swear to it because I don't know.
I'll go look because I haven't been there. I want to say I haven't visited that website in probably like a year. So
Awesome.
Right
So,
on.
what does your guys' songwriting process look like? Do y'all just get in a room, or you living far away? Do
yeah.
you have to send digitally back and forth? How does the song come about?
So the guys will all get into a room, face to face, and they'll just
Okay.
jam, right? And when they jam, they record it all, right? So they record the jam, and then that night, Mike will send me all the tracks. So
Hmm.
he'll send me all the tracks digitally, and
Okay.
then in the morning, I wake up really early. I'll download all those tracks, and I'll just sit there with headphones on, and I'll listen to the entire practice, right? And if there are riffs that I like, I'll go through and I'll cut those sections out of the
Hmm.
audio tracks, and then I'll take those all the pieces that I like, and I'll put them together, right, into a song, and I'll make them a song. Um, and then I'll send it back to them and go, "Here's what I hear, guys. What do you think?" And generally, they won't listen to it. But
That was
um,
like the best build up ever.
I know,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
no,
it's
I mean
like
it's true
it's blah
though.
blah blah. And he's like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's not
it's
how
true
it
though,
that
because I'll
that's not
send
how it
them
lays
shit.
down.
I'll send them shit. And they'll be like, I'll text them later. Did you listen to it? Oh, I haven't had time, or I haven't listened yet. So I'll listen to it myself, um, and I'll listen to it probably about 300 to 400 times, right? And then all of a sudden, one of those times, the whole melody will pop into my head
Yeah.
for songs, and then from there, I'll take the melody, and I'll do a syllable count once it's like fully there, because
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe that if I can't remember the melody in my head without recording it, then it's not worth listening to, right? Or then it's not worth working on.
Uh-huh.
So I'll listen to it until the melody is firmly in my head, and then I'll do syllable counts on the lines. And then as I start saying gibberish to it, words will form, and then I'll figure out what I'm actually talking about. And then I'll write all those words into those syllable counts. I'll track it and I'll send it back to them, and then they'll finally listen to it.
They finally listened to
Yeah.
it.
And then from there, they will rewrite their parts around my vocals.
Okay.
Right. So I write around their skeleton, and
Uh-huh.
then they come back and write around mine. And it helps out a lot because I feel like our songs are pretty catchy, right?
Yeah.
Everything's built around each other. It's a very organic process that we do.
That's the most in-depth description of writing. It really is, and it makes absolute sense. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I
Yeah,
like
it won't
that.
work for every band, but for us, I believe it works.
Yeah. Nice.
Is it ever like the reverse where you have like a song in your head that you're like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, like I need music to go with it, or does that never go that route?
It never goes that route because I can play guitar. So if I have it in my head, I'll just show the guitar riff to Joe, and then Joe will take it and piss all over it and do his thing. You know, that's basically what we do when we write. We just piss on each other's ideas until
Right.
our idea, right?
Oh,
Hey,
that's
Randy,
awesome.
since we're talking about all this music style and how it's made, let's give it a little taste.
All right. I've got Leave Me Be queued up.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
That's off the second EP that we just released.
Yeah. Did it just freeze?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
That's it.
Well, we're not going to get a copyright strike.
Like a fiend, so I'm feeling uncaring emotions. I'm really my thing. The side of me you never wanted to see, bleeding out, bittersweet. Not as heartless as you come to believe. Don't touch me, just leave me be. Separate yourself.
Right. Yeah, still don't want to play too much because Facebook kind of slaps us every time. So that's good stuff. That's Leave Me Be off your latest EP. And that's seems to be what you guys are rocking on right now is that song right there. So
hey, Randy,
stuff.
before we go too far, did you do that thing where it takes it back off the video and puts it back on us?
I did.
Because it's still showing the video frozen.
Are you kidding?
This is what we said. We have problems every week.
No, it's off.
Okay.
Not me again. Like I said, I showed up early. I'm prepared.
It was not you. It's should be. Now is it?
Yep, it's still there.
Okay, it'll fix itself.
There we go. We're back.
Okay. Thanks for calling that out, John. There was one button.
It was that happened to us a couple weeks ago, and my neighbors were like, "Hey, how come you guys never went back to your faces on the screen?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, after the song played, it just stayed up there the whole rest of the show." I was like, "Oh,
Oh man, that sucks.
Got
I mean,
like
nobody wants to look
6
it up
screens
anyway.
going on here, and it's like everything looks good. but yeah, good stuff, man. That is some good tunes. So,
Thank you.
what are the plans? Just the non-point in Vegas? Are you guys just doing the weekend type things? Just like you said, you're not out to make a bunch of money. It's just getting the music out there, right?
Right. I'd say, I mean, if there was a tour that came up that made sense for all of us to go on, then we would definitely try to do it. I mean, that's part of the fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, playing a different town every night, and lugging around all the gear and getting barely any sleep, you know, that's part of the fun. But I mean, really, we're gonna play this debut show. Get back out there, with BC, and we're trying to write right now. Really,
Okay, cool. Good.
We spent the last 3.5 years with David, writing, and we had
Uh-huh.
all that. So we kind of got used to that writing process. But when you add a new element, everything changes.
Hmm.
So I feel like we're still in that feeling out stage with BC, and I'd love to get some new material out there for the fans to listen to, and for BC to be proud of him.
Absolutely.
And then from there, we'll see what happens. You never
Right
know.
on. Right on.
This time next year, we could be disbanded, or
Don't say
or we
that.
could be the biggest thing since sliced bread. You never know.
Awesome. Awesome. Who were your influences? Let me do that for you, John.
My influences.
That's a
Yeah,
hard question.
I know.
Well, guitar playing wise, it would have to be Hetfield and Dimebag,
Okay, cool.
right? And
Cool.
then eventually it moved on to Max Cavalera and Monkey and Head. Those are the very last of my influences on guitar. Vocal wise, I'd have to say Scott Weiland, Lane Staley, Maynard, Mike Patton,
Nice.
Jonathan Davis, Hetfield, obviously, Phil
Yeah.
Anselmo. A lot of the old school guys.
Yeah.
I like
Solid.
the sound of your list so
I
much.
know, it's very solid.
Good. At least you're not like, that's whack. What?
Very solid.
However, it was slight weird to me because your guitar style is like old thrash, but your vocal style, you're talking more like grunge. Like it was, I was like, well, that's a okay.
Well, I started off as a guitar player, right? And I played guitar for, I want to say, 2 or 3 years before my band couldn't find a singer. So then they drew my name out of a hat like 3 times. And that's how I became a singer, honestly. And when I learned how to sing, how I learned how to sing was I learned how to play every single Metallica song from Kill 'Em All to the Black Album. I learned how to play and sing almost every single one of those songs. Um, and towards the Black Album stuff, he was singing a little bit more, right? And around that time, I want to say Nirvana just came out and stuff like that. So I was listening to the grunge era to really sing, to get a singing voice. But I had a screaming voice from the thrash and the Sepultura and all that stuff. I had that scream from the Pantera and Sepultura stuff. And then I wanted to round out my voice with the alternative stuff. And I kind of combined that together. So if you take a good listen to us, I think you'll hear all those influences in there that I listed.
I'm gonna be doing some more listening after this. As I told you earlier, I have very limited knowledge of you guys prior to our show tonight. So tonight will be my listening party time. Normally it would have been last night, so I could have got prepared, but
It's all good. Yeah, I mean, we even do a Faith No More cover, right? Because that was like, I think we do Midlife Crisis, which is
Oh, nice.
very cool.
Yeah.
so you guys got to go check that out. But
True.
I remember trying to sing in the very beginning of all of this, like actually sing, not like growl or anything like that. And I remember Mike Patton's voice being easier for me to achieve
Mhm.
that voice. So
Cool.
but now when I actually try to hit it, it's way harder.
I'm quite certain that's true. I do want to say that song we played was off your latest EP, "Defy the Algorithm." So if you guys are out there looking for the song we played, it is on their newest EP. I assume both of them are out on your website or your Facebook or somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
So it's out there. Just go find it.
Yeah, go find it. It's a lot easier to find now that we're not biased, You just type breaking in a sequence in YouTube or in Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, Google
Mhm.
Play or whatever the hell it is. You'll find it a lot easier. So many people had issues finding our shit in the beginning.
So prior to swapping out band members, and you've done some shows slash touring in the past, give us like one of those crazy road stories. Like, holy crap, why did this happen?
I don't really have crazy road stories aside from the last time we went to Utah, I want to say. We we had a bunch of people on our bus, and one of them had COVID, and they gave all of us COVID except for me and Mike. Everyone in our crew had COVID, and every show that we went to, we were just spreading it everywhere.
Oh, nice.
I think it turned out like at the end
You
of the
shut
day,
the shows down.
yeah. No, that was like it was fucked up because I want to say it was like at the end of the day, the total tally was something like 82 people that we knew of.
Oh no.
And that was when we played a show with Tommy Vex, right? And it was like the Fuck the Mask tour or whatever.
Oh no.
No.
So yeah, that was kind of messed up. But I didn't get it.
Oh my gosh. That's good stuff. Well, thank you so much for taking time. I know it was really quick. We just got this put together today, and I appreciate you being able to sit down with us. And of course, your time in California is way off from what ours is. So
Yeah, it's only
I really
five.
appreciate it. Do
Hey,
what?
thanks for having me. It's only 5 here, but thank you guys for having me.
No, this is
Absolutely. We'll get you a link to this too after Randy gets it all done up. Like we're live, and then he'll post out a link tomorrow or tonight or something as
Okay,
well.
cool.
yeah. It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on YouTube and on our website as well. So get it all hooked up.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely get it all shared out. Um, and let me know what you think after you take a good listen tonight.
Absolutely. And stay in touch with us anytime you want. Come back, chat with us, hang out. Like we had a great chat with you. It was fun.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
You guys keep in touch with me, and I'll see you
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
Appreciate
guys.
you. Bye.
Later.
All right, everybody. That was Richard, the singer of Breaking in a Sequence. You can go find all their stuff out at biasofficial.com. I put that on our I put that in our comments as well, so it exists.